Hi everybody, my name is Taylor, and today we will be going over part 2 of self-esteem and how it's so important. Today we will learn some helpful information about your brain and how you can use this information to improve your self-esteem. Okay, so your brain is made up of 100 billion cells called neurons. Let's say you want to learn how to ride a bike. Your brain will activate those cells that are responsible for balance and feet pedaling. You never ride a bike perfectly on the first try. It takes practice, a lot of practice, to get it right. And each time you practice, you are activating those same neuron cells in your brain. In time, these neurons will grow big and strong because they interact with each other so much. Your neurons actually use something called axons, which actually sends messages to other neurons that will tell you, pedal fast, pedal fast. Well, obviously they're not real voices. It's actually a chemical and electrical zap in the brain. Then there's actually other cells in the brain called axons that listens and receives message coming from other neurons in the brain. So if you practice riding a bike every day, your axons and neurons will eventually grow together after time and time of practice. And the more that those cells grow, the easier it is to remember and know how to ride a bike. When the axons and neurons get strong enough, they actually create an outer layer called myelin sheath. I know myelin sheath is like a big word, but it basically means that the message from your brain is traveling a lot faster to the actions of your body. And you only create myelin sheath, outer layer, in your cells when you do something over and over again. So that's why you don't have to think twice about riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you just do it. If you do something over and over again, your brain and your neurons and your axons thinks it's important and tries to protect it. This process happens millions of times in your brain throughout the day, every time you think of a thought or do something. If you do something over and over again, your brain and your neurons and your axons thinks it's important and tries to protect it. This process happens millions of times in your brain throughout the day, every time you think of a thought or do something. 1. Realize that you can learn anything. It's just a matter of practice and practice and practice and training your mind to think what you want it to think. 2. What you think of yourself is tied to your neurons in your brain. There's this term called affirmations, which is a statement that you say or write to yourself over and over again. It's actually a really super powerful technique on building or enhancing your self-esteem. Some examples of affirmations are, I am beautiful, or I am worth it. I can do anything that I put my mind to. If I continue to tell myself this over and over again, day after day, whether I write it in a journal or on my mirror in my bathroom, or just tell it to myself on my way to work or school, your brain will think it's important and remember it. Otherwise known as neuron training. Always remember that your brain will seek out evidence in which you think about. I'll give you an example about shoes. When you buy a new pair of shoes that you really wanted, you will then, within a few weeks, notice them on other people or see a photo of them. That is because you saw the shoe, you thought about the shoe, you found the shoe at the shoe store. You went to the store to try on the shoe. You bought the shoe, you took the shoe home, and you wore the shoe. Your brain registered it as important and will seek out other shoes that look like yours. And 3, like I mentioned in my first video, inner thoughts has a big role in self-esteem. There are billions of neurons at work in your brain all throughout the day, and you have the power of what you think about. You have the power to direct your focus on what you think over and over and over again. If you tell yourself time and time again that you're worthless, that you're no good, or that you're not smart, your neurons will be trained to think that way. If you tell yourself that you are worth it and you are smart and you are beautiful, your neurons will train yourself to think that way as well. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video learning about the brain and how it impacts your self-esteem. If you have any questions or if you want to learn more information, please reach out to us.